Hockey Podcast Network proudly presents Royally Quacked, episode 114. Here on this beautiful Saturday morning in Southern California, fans. Cody, I know we've talked a little bit. It's been a busy week for both of us. I can't hear you all of a sudden.
Can you hear me now?
I can now, yes.
I don't know what it just muted automatically. But yeah, even with the 4-day week and the holiday week, still a very busy week. And before we get into it, we should have done this last week, but it was Memorial Day this last week. So I just want to say thank you to all the soldiers that have risked their lives, and we've lost the lives of many fantastic men and women out there to give us our freedom. So I just want to say thank you to everyone out there for that.
Absolutely, that's true. We're not free without them. So, yes. I mean, you see a serviceman, give him a handshake. I certainly hope sometime in the near future I'm walking into a fast food restaurant and there's a serviceman. I just want to buy him. I want to buy him his lunch or dinner or breakfast.
Yeah,
because without them, we're not free. Living in the most free, prosperous country in the world, and we're so blessed. So
yeah. And to all those who celebrate today, it's also Champions League final day. To all my foodie friends out there, it's Arsenal versus PSG. If you see me distracted, it's because I am watching the game on another part of a screen.
I am not distracted.
Well, you're not as a foodie guy as I am.
That is true. But we want to really start off the podcast and just condolences to Claude Lemieux and his family and the Montreal Canadiens. He was a 4-time Stanley Cup champion, and he has passed away. He was 60 years old. Don't know. I mean, it says he died by suicide, according to the authorities. We don't have all the information of possibly why that happens. But then again, we're also talking about a sport that is as brutal as football, except for on razor blades. And, concussions do happen, and, that can alter their brain chemistry. And, sometimes sad things like this. I mean, he gave his life to hockey. Outstanding career. Like I said, 4-time Stanley Cup champion. There's not a whole lot of people that can say they're 4-time Stanley Cup champions.
Yeah.
And like I said, our condolences go out to the Lemieux family. So
yeah. He was just the torchbearer, just 3 days before for Montreal for, I think, Game 3.
Yes. Yeah, that's so sad. I mean, you weren't even born yet. We've had suicide in our family.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a disease. People, their thought patterns just, get askewed.
Yeah.
So anyways, I mean, I had to break it to your mom when her aunt had done the same thing. So it was tough.
Yeah, it was tough seeing that news. Someone like Claude, who's also an agent, and one of his, I don't know if he is the longest, player under Claude Lemieux, but I know he's one of them. Is Freddie Anderson?
Yes, yeah. I read a whole thing about that earlier this morning, and it was talking about he almost didn't play.
Yeah.
In the last game. But his teammates lifted him up. Coach Brindamore also was lifting him up, even making comments that it was very difficult for him to go out. But what a way to go out and, celebrate Lemieux's life, but to take and win the game and take his team into the Stanley Cup Finals, and which I think they're favored against the hated ones.
Good. Go Canes.
Yeah, I'm all for go Canes too.
Oh, trust me, if Montreal would have gone, I would have had a tough time, deciding do I want a Canadian team to win or do I want the Knights to win. I probably would have leaned more towards the Canadian team.
I can already tell you, that's where being a USA team wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah. Adam says, I can attest to the trauma and damage of traumatic brain injury. Sad to hear about Claude. Yes.
We know, Adam.
Yeah. It's a serious moment, Dad. Read the room.
I know, but I had to pick on
the
Adam
room.
for a second.
Just read the room.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Well,
hey, he gets a lot more digs at me than I get at him. So anyways, but that's so true that, like I said, you're playing a physical sport like that. A lot of football players have had the traumatic brain syndrome thing going on.
Adam says, F Canada. I would have rooted for Canada against me. True.
Well, it's unanimous. We're all in agreement on that one, Adam.
Yeah.
And I just saw another thing reading today about, this is the third time in 9 years that Vegas is in the finals. Third time in 9 years. So that just goes to show you, basically they stole Marner away from the Leafs because he was going to leave anyways. The trade that happened with that was not even close to fair.
Oh, it wasn't meant to be a fair trade. It was more so Marner can get the 8th year. That was it.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, man, I really, why doesn't that happen to our teams?
I don't know.
You can't tell me that Mitch Marner wouldn't have made a difference with the Kings. We might have at least won 1 or 2 games against Colorado. I don't think we would have beat them.
I don't know about that just because I think Marner would have been the number 1 on the Kings. And I don't think Marner he doesn't need to be a number 1 player. He needs to be a 2 or maybe even a 3. And he was still a 2 or 3 on Toronto, but I think those top 2, Matthews and Nylander, they depended on Marner, but nobody would help Marner out. Jeff Merrick said this on the sheet. He said he talked to Adam Oates, a Hall of Famer, really great player.
Oh yeah,
and everything. And Adam Oates even said this. This is before, when he was still when Marner was a Leaf, and he was saying he's like, yes, like Marner helps everyone, but nobody helps Marner. And on Vegas, everyone's he's getting help there, and he wasn't in Toronto. So I think that's the big difference on why we're seeing Marner play this way in the playoffs, because he's helping people, but people are also helping him. He doesn't, if you look what's around him, he has Eichel and William Karlsson and Stone. Like Marner was the top, 2-way forward on the Maple Leafs, and he's not the top 2-way forward on the Knights, because you got Eichel's a great 2-way guy. William Karlsson's a great 2-way guy, and they don't have to he doesn't have to be the number one two-way guy on the team like he was in the past. So I think that's the big difference.
Yeah. Wouldn't say I disagree. He got to pick where he wanted to play.
He was going to Vegas, I think, no matter what. The only reason why the trade happened is because he wanted 8 years, and he couldn't get 8 years unless it was a sign and trade. That was it.
Yeah.
But all right, ready again to we'll let you do your heavy Kings news.
I seem to start every week now.
Yeah, go for it. I was starting a lot, so I'll give you a chance.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so hopefully you guys pay attention to the news. The Kings have interviewed Jay Woodcroft, assistant coach from the Anaheim Ducks. That was per Frank Saravalli, Cody's favorite reporter, for their head coach position. And I'm pretty sure they actually talked with Lavalette also regarding the head coaching position. I don't know. Is everybody waiting for Cassidy to be available?
So, all right, about that. And that's been like a hot topic, this whole past couple of weeks and everything. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my eye right now, but it's like bugging me. So I forgot which podcast it was on. They had a host, and her name is Shayna Goldman. And I didn't think about this, but this was all her. And she was like, I think the main reason the main reason why Vegas is doing that is because Vegas, they technically don't have a coach for next year. And I mean, they're well in their right to do what they're doing. Yes, it's messed up and everything, but they're well in their right to do what they're doing. But if you think about it, they're also playing the field because everybody wants Bruce Cassidy as their coach. Whoever has a head coach opening wants Cassidy pretty much. And why would you give, especially two teams in your own division, a head start on looking at getting a new head coach when you need a new head coach? Because Tortorella, he never said he was coming back or not, so we don't know that. But you're giving two teams in your division a head start on getting a new coach when you don't even have a new coach. So them holding, I'm just going to say this, them holding Cassidy hostage is more like a strategy because now the Kings and Oilers need to wait to see what's going on with Cassidy.
So it gives them more of a fair field to
exactly. And I was like, I didn't even think of it like that. That is
so. Here's a question. I do not know the answer to this, but maybe you or Adam or someone in the internet field might know the answer to this. Could they bring back Cassidy?
No.
Why not? If he agreed to it.
If he agreed to it, but
they still have a contract.
I don't see it happening now.
I'm just saying.
Adam says Cody was starting more for a while because the Ducks were able to last longer in the playoffs.
You definitely have that where the Ducks did go farther in the playoffs this year. Yeah. I mean, after 8 years, you guys deserve to have a little happiness.
Yeah. I just, for me, the best part of it was we were able to do something in our first year what you guys couldn't do in 4 years.
Yeah. Well, you also had an Edmonton team that wasn't nearly as good.
Yeah, but you guys also had a 2-0
series lead. That has nothing to do. The team that you guys played was not nearly as good as any of the 4 teams we played.
Yeah, but that was more on them than anything else.
Well, exactly. So it was much easier for you guys to have a victory because the team wasn't as good. But that's okay. You did it. I give you kudos for that.
All right. All right. Well,
I wish we had. I think we could have beat them.
but you need to score to beat them, and you guys don't score.
Well, we shut them out 1-0 the last time we played them.
Okay, but playoff Edmonton is different than regular season Edmonton.
But they surely didn't look like it this year. So,
Adam, first California Cup, first team to beat Edmonton in the first round. So better than any excuse Gary can come up with. Just to
yeah, they did suck. That's all right.
So out of the three coaches that could possibly be the new Kings coach, who would you like to see the most?
Well, I mean, Tortorella's not even signed, so he could be there.
Yeah.
Think about it, right? I don't know. I would be leaning towards Woodcroft.
It would tough to see Woodcroft go to the Kings.
I'm not talking about whatever affiliations he's had in the past.
I'm just saying.
I really liked him in Edmonton, and he was on 32 Thoughts, and they had a big interview with him, and I was totally impressed with how he spoke about how he coached. So, I can't say that. I mean, obviously Cassidy's had a long history of doing a great job coaching. He would be a great pickup too. I don't see it. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he'd rather go to Edmonton and have two superstars.
Cassidy?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. He could go to Toronto. They have, they could probably spend the most money on him too. I mean, he'll have, Matthews for now. We'll see. Nylander and the first overall pick. So, I mean, not a bad situation there either. I mean, except for, what's going on in the GM position. But
True.
For the Kings, I Woodcroft would be like last year when the Ducks were looking for a new head coach. I mean, yeah, Sullivan was available too. And I think Sullivan was my number one choice, but there was no way he was coming to Anaheim just because he was going to New York no matter what. But Woodcroft was my next pick.
Yeah, I think Sullivan made the wrong choice.
Yeah. I don't think he was coming to Anaheim either way anyway. So I think it was.
Well, you know what? It turned out best for Anaheim. I think they got the right coach with a young team, and he got the most out of them. So
yeah,
I mean, it all worked the way it should have.
Yeah.
So
all right. For the Kings, I think Woodcroft would be a really good coach, and I think he could be the one to really, jumpstart Quentin Byfield. I think Laviolette wouldn't be a bad choice either, just because he's like a two-way coach where he focuses on both offense and defense. Woodcroft has more offense, so like I said, it would be either one wouldn't hurt. So,
well, there's nobody to lean on this next year for Byfield, so it's perform or shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know what Adam's going to say, so he doesn't even have to say it. He's going to say, "Oh, he sucks anyway." So I hope that's not true. But what
he said? Usually the word is overrated.
Yeah. Well, he's expected to be more than what he is. I mean, he's a good NHL player.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be a great NHL player, and he hasn't been that. So this will be his year to shine. Unless they pick a 1C up that's incredible, he's probably going to be the 1C.
Yeah. All right. Well, you want to talk about your one more Kings news?
Oh yeah. Saw this. I almost forgot about this. It is Nico Heischer on the Kings radar. I mean, if he doesn't sign I think he's got this next year and then his contract's up. I mean, you talk about a two-way player. I mean, I remember when they drafted him, and it just seemed like it took him a slow time to get started. But man, I mean, did you know? Do you know how many faceoff wins he had last year?
A lot.
1,008
Wow.
in 80. Well, whatever how many games he played. But 1,008. He was one of the top faceoff guys, and he's a good defensive forward, and he scores. I mean, he's not a McDavid scorer, but or like Draisaitl, but you know, he's like what the Kings have been. Two-way hockey with actually more scoring.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what he would be a great replacement for Kopitar in my book. But then again, what's it going to take to get him?
Yeah, I mean, he does have 1 year left on his contract too. So,
Yeah.
And Adams just says, "Just say it, Gary. Just say it."
I'm not going to say that.
I think Heischer would be a good fit. I think it might be too soon to bring in. I know, even though now is the time to do it, but you know, so maybe depends on whoever is the new coach for the Kings can maybe turn Byfield around. But if he doesn't turn around, then yeah, I would say definitely time to probably start looking for another top center.
Well, I think they're looking for one anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, because you know, they re-signed Lawton. He's a third line guy.
Yeah.
So they need a 1 or a 2C. And they got Hellenius is probably going to be the 4C. And he's serviceable as a fourth line center. Unless, like, you know, all of a sudden Turcotte becomes what he was drafted to be. You know, you just never know when someone's going to block, because you have some of these guys blossom like when they're 25, 26, 27. You know, it'd be nice to see him blossom into, because I talked about it last week, how many guys we didn't pick that we could have had instead of him. And it was a lot.
Yeah.
That whole draft that year, we pretty much missed the boat. Not that we didn't get some serviceable guys, we did, but we could have had much more talented players.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to see what's good. Well, I'm excited because we're going to have some change, you know, and you already talked about the uniform. It would certainly nice to have just not so much black.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I like a little more color. I think it's visually friendly for the newer hockey fans.
Yeah, I think they dropped the ball on the crown jerseys this year. That was their chance to really like add color instead of, I mean, like, I like that jersey a little bit more than the regular home, but it just looks too similar. Why would you have two similar jerseys like that?
Yeah, go bold or go home.
Yeah, like I honestly, I like what the Ducks did. They got rid of the black and they went full orange. It's completely different, but it's a great look for them.
I thought it was a step up for them. I thought the Kings
anything was a step up.
They sidestepped.
Yeah.
It was a sidestep, not a step up or really a step back, but just a sidestep.
He says, Adam says, get rid of alternate and bring back Burger King.
Hey, Burger King would be a little more color, that's for sure.
We'll have to do like a full jersey episode one of these days.
We did that.
Not really.
And we picked the best jerseys. We went through them in an episode once.
I meant like full on. Like, I think that would be a good one. All right, well, let's get into Ducks news finally. So there's a lot of trade rumors involving the Ducks right now. According to Vince Mercogliano, says Mason McTavish is someone he believes the Rangers would definitely sniff around. So, like I said, as you guys know, I host another YouTube channel called Ducks Digest. I haven't done an episode about this yet. I'm gonna do one about that today. So spoiler. I did ask our Rangers Digest host, like, because I talked to him about it because I was like, he's like, I hear that you guys are looking at McTavish. I'm like, if you were the Rangers GM, what would you offer the Ducks to bring in to get McTavish? And he asked me, he was like, well, what do you guys need? And I was like, a 2C, a defensive bottom six forward, and a top right-handed shot defenseman, a more defensive partner. And I'll say it on here anyways. He's like, he's like, why not? He's like, how about like Braden Schneider, a prospect and a draft pick? I'm like, is Braden Schneider good? He's like, yeah, he's good. I'm like, is he like top pair worthy, like to put with Lacombe? He's like, I would put him with Lacombe. And I was like, well, I know Braden Schneider was decent, but but his stats aren't good. He's like, that's because he usually plays with third pair guys, like, probably not the best partner for him. That's probably not as good of a quality as he is, or he's always playing with like an AHL quality defenseman all the time. So I'm like, got it. So maybe if he's with someone like Lacombe, it could change things around. So I'm like, okay, that wouldn't be a bad idea. It'd have to be a decent package to bring in to do Schneider for McTavish, though. The Rangers would have to definitely add more to that. Also with a lot of McTavish talk, let's put it that way, obviously. But several other teams have inquired about forward Mason McTavish, and that was per Pierre LeBrun. And also from Pierre LeBrun, there's a storm brewing with a potential for a massive trades. One player who fits that criteria is Mason McTavish. He says, I have zero evidence to suggest that the Ducks are the ones calling teams. Several teams have inquired, and that was part of the Athletic on May 27th. He says, with young stars like Leo Carlson and Cutter Gauthier due for big pay raises this summer, one can see why the Ducks might at least listen on McTavish as they put all the pieces of the puzzle together in the bigger picture. So it could be just maybe a way to, because McTavish is making $7 million, so maybe there's a way to maybe shed some of that money or use him as a package. Like I said, I've heard a lot. It's going to heat up pretty quickly, especially with the Stanley Cup, almost coming to a close soon. We know who's in the final, but we'll talk about that in a bit. So it's going to be fun. I'm excited to see what's going to happen this offseason with the Ducks. Next up, is the Anaheim Ducks and the Rinks are announcing plans for a 3 ice sheet skating facility One will have 2,000 to 3,000 seats in Escondido. Yes, that's right. Escondido, California. That will have a restaurant and training facilities inside, similar to Great Park Ice. So I think it was that one's called the Iceplex, I want to say. The Rinks Foundation and the city of Escondido announced plans for a 3-sheet public skating facility at Kit Carson Park facility. Would be a practice rink for the San Diego Gulls as well as the Junior Gulls and Anaheim Ducks High School League. So, like I said, very exciting news because that ice rink was closed, I believe, like 2 to 3 years ago. It's been closed for a little bit, but it's good to see that the Ducks are expanding. Because I want to say Zach Kavanaugh said there was only a total of like 4 sheets of ice in the city of or in the county of San Diego. So now we're adding a few more sheets of ice. So and the more ice you have a better chance of expanding the game. So I'm glad that the Samuelis are doing something like this where they're fixing old ice rinks and making them better. So, and that could be a possible, thing to bring. I mean, it's not big enough for a PWHL team. Obviously, they need a bigger arena than that. So, next up, the ESPN hates the Ducks. Why do I say that? Well, one, they barely talked about the Ducks during the night's Duck series. And also when they were doing like their team recap things, they said Mason McTavish was still an RFA. It's like they don't know what they're researching there. He was an RFA last year. He is not an RFA anymore because like, oh, they can offer sheet him. No, you cannot. God, it makes me laugh what ESPN does sometimes. So, next up, Pierre LeBrun says, if Austin Matthews decides he's not sure they are still a contender, talk about Toronto, he says he's open to a move. I would venture a guess Anaheim would be on his list of 7 or 8 potential desired landing spots. And the Ducks would have the pieces, he said on The Athletic on May 27th. And he also said in the very next one, the Anaheim Ducks would be on Austin Matthews if he became available, per Pierre LeBrun. I don't know.
Be expensive.
Yeah, so I did a episode like this on Ducks Digest. I talked about Austin Matthews, Jason Robertson, Brady Tkachuk, and Robert Thomas. I don't know if I already said that one. Robert Thomas, Jason Robertson, Brady Tkachuk. Yeah. So, go check that one out. Like I said, I would be leaning more towards my number one choice would be Robert Thomas out of those 4. He's just the best cost effective, but I wouldn't mind a Brady Tkachuk. But if we do bring in a Brady Tkachuk, that means VL and I wouldn't mind if we kept VL, but Robertson would probably be out for sure. But it would then be probably Jason Robertson and then Austin Matthews in that order. So, or maybe I would flip flop Brady and Austin depending on that. Next up, this is the one I'd be very interested in. The Anaheim Ducks had interest in Colton Parayko during the trade deadline and may revisit a trade talks in this summer, and that was per David Pagnotta. And he did say, I don't know if it was Robert Thomas directly, but there were talks that Colton Parayko said during the trade deadline he would go to either Anaheim or LA. But now I'm hearing that he just wants to go to a West Coast team. So, and what do the Ducks need? a top pair right-hand shot defenseman. And what is Parayko? A top pair right-hand shot defenseman he's only making $6.5 million per year, and he's signed for another 3 or 4 years. So I would
only making $6.5 million.
Hey, that's for a top pair right-hand shot defenseman. That's a great deal.
I'm just talking about just in general, Cody.
Yeah, I know. Only, you know.
I would take $1 million right now.
I would take $500,000. I'd be happy.
Well, if we're gonna go, let's at least get $1 million.
No, I'm just saying, you know, I can eat Chipotle, you know, pretty comfortable for a while. At least it'll be healthier. All right, next up, the Ducks hometown remix logo or jersey. So on New Era, I don't know how long this has been out, but it just really surfaced this last week. But here is what they posted. It was a hat, and because we all know that the Ducks hometown remix jersey is going to be green. And if you guys have watched the Ice Athletics YouTube video, he said, you know, great watch. Please go watch Ice Athletics. He talks all things about jerseys for the NHL. His videos are great, and stuff like that. So if there's any jersey news, go to him. He always has the like up to date stuff. But here is what they posted on New Era. And I'm like, why does that look familiar? So the Ducks are going to be probably wearing something similar to the D5, you know, the original Mighty Ducks movie and stuff like that. So I'm gonna wear my green hat now. So why is this the hometown remix? Because this is where the Anaheim Ducks name and everything originated. They were the D5 Mighty Ducks, and they're going back to this. And I like the logo. If they're going with that look and stuff like that. Here's another look at the hat. And someone rendered this jersey. I can't remember who did. But this is what the possible jersey could look like. You know, it has Orange County in the collar right there. It has the green. Like I said, I like the logo. You know, I like the red eye with the green outline for the eyebrow and under. It has really good texture to it. So I wouldn't mind this at all if this was the look. I would like to see it fully, and I want, for me, I want to see what it looks like on the ice, because I remember when the Ducks first had the 30th anniversary jerseys, you know, the eggplant and jade ones. I love the colors. I wasn't a fan of the jersey right away, but when I first saw it on TV and I saw it, I think I went to the home opener that year and I saw on the ice, I'm like, okay, I like this now. Sometimes it just looks way better on the ice than it does showing. Adam says, I don't know how I feel about this style of green. I agree. I don't know how I feel about it. I said I'm, you know, optimistic on how it's going to look. So I would like to see how they handle this. You know, I mean, it would be kind of cool if they did like a full on like Anaheim Ducks D5 kind of look. You know, wow, I have a really big head because I'm like down to the last like thing on this. There we go. But I forgot I had this hat. But what do you think about this look, Dad?
It's different. It's not bad.
Yes.
I'm not blown away by it, but you know, sometimes it's just, I think having something different, it'll attract people to it a little bit. You know, I mean, especially if they're their jerseys at times have been a little over orange in my book. I mean, not that they're not better than what they had before, but um, I like contrast in colors,
Yeah.
especially in jerseys. So to me, I like contrast. So and that's where, like I said, like the Kings, yeah, we we need to get away from so much black. Doesn't mean it can't have black in it, just not all black.
Well, like I said, Athletics did say that the Kings will be having, like I said, a purple or foreign blue colored setup this year for that hometown remix.
Yeah, I'd love something like they did in the 2008 and stuff. That would one of my favorite
I
jerseys.
think that's what they should have gone to, other than what they did with the Chevy logo.
Yeah. So
I agree. So, all right, well, that is it for Ducks news. You want to go into league news?
League news: Penguins sign Malkin. He signs a 1-year deal to return for his 21st season, and it's for $5.5 million, $2.5 million in salary, $3 million in signing bonus. Wow, this is very specific. $250K after 42 games played, $250K after 63 games played, $1 million for making the playoffs, $500,000 for winning the first round, $500,000 for the second round, $500,000 for the East Final, and $500,000 for the Stanley Cup.
So a total of $9 million.
So he might make $7.5 million.
Yeah.
My book. So I just don't see him going that far unless they make some kind of crazy, get a guy like Marner for nothing.
Yeah.
Move. So
yeah. All right. Wild goalie Philip Gustafson will undergo off-season hip surgery. Maybe that's why Wallstat was the number one for the Wild in the playoffs.
Well, it might have been
because he was really good in the playoffs.
Yeah, and maybe that's why Gustafson didn't play as well.
Yeah,
because of an injury. And the more we see, pretty much after someone gets knocked out of the playoffs, you find out who's all hurt and how they played hurt, and that affects their performance. I'm sure. I mean, you're in pain. It's hard to keep pushing. So, according to Frank Saravelli, again, Cody's favorite guy, Jay Woodcroft will interview for the Toronto Maple Leafs head coach job. I think you mentioned that earlier this week, and he did interview for the Los Angeles Kings head coach job last week. Solid bet he will be an NHL head coach again next season. I have no doubt about that.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Pierre LeBrun's John. I don't know why I didn't put this in Ducks news, but I guess it has nothing to do with the Ducks in a way. John Carlson had been in talks with the Washington Capitals before they moved him at the trade deadline in March, and it was looking like it was going to be a 2-year extension worth $9 million per season. He continued, "I doubt very much Carlson signs for less than 2 years and $9 million per year, regardless of whether that's in Anaheim or on the open market. And my sense is there are 4 or 5 teams in the East hoping Carlson hits the July 1st market." And I'm going to just say this now. If that's what it takes to keep Carlson, bye. I'm sorry, but no, I don't. I'm thank you for your services here in Anaheim, but I don't think he's worth $9 million at this point in his career. I'm sorry, but no. Especially I know with the rising cap and everything like that, but with all the moves the Ducks need to make, it's not worth $9
Well,
million per year.
not to mention he's played 17 years already. And so
Yeah.
you never know when the play is going to start,
I mean,
slowing down a bit more.
He's not fast. He's not great defensively. And to be honest, I mean, I don't know if we just didn't use him right or not. Like I said, that could have been the issue, but we really didn't see his, yeah, he scored a hat trick with the Ducks. Yes. But we really didn't see his like booming shot that he has. But I don't know how many times this happened, but he, like, every time he was like, especially on the power play, and it killed so many great power plays because the Ducks had possession and he would like looks like he's like about to do this fantastic pass, and then it only goes like 2 feet and then they turn it over. And like they had the defense hemmed in for a good 30 to 45 seconds. You could tell the PK guys were gassed. And like, okay, now it's your time to strike. And he just whiffed on it horribly. It happened multiple times. But if this is what Carlson wants, I'm not assigning that if I was Verbeek.
Yeah, I can understand that. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
The Minnesota Wild are prepared to make Quinn Hughes a big offer somewhere probably around Kaprizov's $17 million AAV per Nick Kripios. I heard it might be like a 3-year deal. And you know why?
Because Jack Hughes has 3 years left on his deal.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where the brothers could go play together. Because Luke signed a 8-year, right?
7. So he has 6 years left. Luke has 6 years left on his deal.
So they all run away and go play for the Kings.
Okay. You keep thinking that.
Hey, you got to dream big, right? Or go home.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna skip the next one because we'll probably talk about that one longer. The International Ice Hockey Federation, so the IIHF, said Friday that it will determine the status of Russia's participation on an event-by-event basis for the 26-27 season. Russia has been banned from participating in any of the tournaments run by the sports governing body since invading Ukraine in February of 2022. That included preventing Russian players, including those in the NHL, from taking part in the Milan Cortina Olympics.
Wow.
I mean, it would be nice to see Russia's team back in competitions, just because they have good teams, they have good players.
Oh, no doubt.
So and honestly, they have probably the 3 best goalies in the league. Sorokin, Vasilevsky, Shesterkin, Bobrovsky. All these guys are fantastic goalies. Sorry, I got distracted with the game. It's 1-1 in the 84th minute. All right. Trade boards. So there was a couple trade boards that went out this week. So you had one from our best friend on Ducksland, Frank Saravelli, and then the other one with Chris Johnston. So here's Frank Saravelli's. He has Morgan Riley, number 1 overall. And then he has Jordan Kyrou, Jake DeBrusk, Jordan Binnington, Vincent Trocheck, Sebastian Cossa, Blake Coleman, Kent Johnson, Aiden Hill, Dougie Hamilton, Sam Montembeault, Darnell Nurse, Robert Thomas, Shane Wright, Elvis Merzlikins, Mason McTavish, Ross Colton, Colton Parayko, Ilya Labushkin, Jesper Kotkaniemi, Morgan Frost, Jack Drury, Devin Levi, Jake Middleton, and Elias Pettersson. So those are his top 25 on his board. And then here's Chris Johnston. His top 25 is Vincent Trocheck, the San Jose Sharks number 2 overall pick, Jordan Kyrou, Mason McTavish, Morgan Riley, Darnell Nurse, Simon Numich, Jordan Binnington, Aiden Hill, Elias Pettersson, Shane Wright, Matthew Nines, Blake Coleman, Jake DeBrusk, Robert Thomas, Colt Parayko, Mason Lohrei, Michael Kessering, Devin Levi, Sebastian Cossa, the Chicago Blackhawks number 4th overall pick, Ross Colton.
Black what?
Blackhawks?
Okay.
Yeah. Did I say something different?
Sounded like it.
Blackhawks, number 4th overall pick. Ross Colton, Ryan Hartman, Jesper Kotkaniemi, and Jason Robertson. So out of those 2 lists, I mean, you have Mason McTavish on both of them. Vincent Trocheck's on both of them. You know, out of these, is there someone for the Kings that you would like for them to target?
Oh, geez, I have a whole long list there. I mean,
All right,
obviously,
give me your top 3.
I'd say Robert Thomas would
Okay,
be.
I don't think you guys have the.
Oh, yeah, you said who would I want? I'm telling you who I'd want. I'm not saying it's possible, but
true, I did say that. So go for it.
Trocheck would be a great pickup, I think, too. They need centers, so none of these, I think, are really where we would have to give up so much we wouldn't be any good anyways. I mean, obviously, I think Robert Thomas would be my top, and then Trocheck. You know, Elias Peterson is intriguing because he's so talented. I just wondering, you know, he's got to get his head on straight to become that elite player everybody expects him to be. I mean, he's already shown it, and now all of a sudden, yeah, obviously because maybe all the issues was going on with the Canucks, he just stopped caring. I'm not really sure why.
Well, it just seems like it's just toxic being there.
Yeah. Obviously, they probably should do a complete rebuild because it's not good. And I thought that they have some talent. I mean, we went to the last home game. They beat the Ducks.
Yeah,
and beat them 4-2.
Yeah, don't remind
and
me.
outplayed them. I thought they outplayed them completely that night. So Vancouver totally outplayed the Ducks that night, and which I was shocked.
Yeah, I know. For the Ducks, I would say the top 3. I would say Matthew Nyes, Robert Thomas. Let's see. Is there another one on this one? Matthew Nyes, Robert Thomas, and probably Colton Parayko. I mean, yeah, those will be my top 3. Who I think they would probably go and get. I wouldn't mind a Trocheck. Good cap hit. 3 years left. I mean, I wouldn't mind the Ducks going to get Sebastian Cossa as their 1B, but I don't know if he's going to be that much better than whatchamacallit? Husso. We'll see.
Well, he has better stats.
Let's see who else. I think that would be it. I don't want Pettersson. He's too much unless Vancouver retains
some of them. Yeah. Which I think they might do.
I've heard not, but let's see. That's the only other one I could think of. Nebich, I wouldn't mind for the right price too. So, but we'll.
He's Jersey, right?
Yeah, and there's rumors that he wants out, but it's not official. But we'll see.
Yeah, I've seen the rumors, so it's it doesn't sound like it's a great situation right now.
Yeah. So, but I don't feel good about Nemec. I don't know if he's going to be leaving or not, but we'll see. All right. Well, let's do our quick ad read.
Okay.
You want to do it, or want me to do it?
What, the whole thing?
It's not that much.
Or start?
No. Start it. Just do the first paragraph, and then I'll take it over.
Well, the first paragraph isn't that long.
All right, then
I'll do
just
it.
go.
The Stanley Cup playoffs are here, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, has a new customer offer. When the ice gets coldest, the best players in the world show you exactly who they are. Playoff warriors turn it up round by round, and the DraftKings turn it up with them from the first round all the way to the Stanley Cup Final. Bet player props, bet live, from the opening faceoff to the final horn. Every moment matters. New DraftKings customers bet just $5 and you'll get $100 in bonus bets instantly. You want me to keep going? Okay.
Instantly. All right. Download DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN so you're ready for the moment. That's code THPN. Turn $5 into $100 in bonus bets instantly in partnership with DraftKings.
Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Limited time offer.
The crown is yours. All right. Now, all we have left to talk about is Stanley Cup playoffs. So,
go Canes.
Go. So, if you guys did not know, but yeah, the Stanley Cup Final is set now. Why won't it take me to there? It is. So playoffs. The Vegas Golden Knights swept the Colorado Avalanche. I did not have that on my bingo card one bit, not even close.
I wonder if anybody actually bet that. They would have won a lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of money. Some people had Vegas. But I don't think any of them had a sweep. But like I said, Makar didn't play the first 2 games, and you could tell he was hurt. McKinnon got hurt in game 3, blocking that one shot. And then Carolina clinched it last night in a very dominating win. After getting dominated in game 1, they won that games 2 and 3 in overtime, and then after that it wasn't even close. And I didn't even look to see at the box score of last night's game.
It's 6-1.
It was 6-1. But there's one thing I want to see: the shots on goal. Just because in games 3, 4, and 5, the Canadians had a total of 43 shots on goal. Oh, they actually had over 20 shots last game. Miracle. 43 shots on goal. And the Hurricanes in game 5 alone had 43 shots. So the Canes outshot Montreal in what they did in 1 game. It took Montreal to do in 3 games. And I think that was the lowest amount of total shots in 3 playoff games like that in playoff hockey history. Crazy. Especially a team like Montreal, a very offensive driven team. But yeah, so Canadians won the first game, first game 6-2. Then it was 3-2 Canes in overtime. Another 3-2 overtime win for the Hurricanes. Then 4-0, and then 6-1. So those last 2 games were not even close. And then the Adams. This is exactly what I said. At least the Ducks took Vegas to 6 games, and the Ducks were the better team in 4 out of those 6 games. Yes, we lost 2 out of those 4 that we were the better team. But like I said, at least I think the Ducks gave Vegas the best series. In all honesty.
I do not disagree with you.
Each game was settled by multiple goals in the Knights series. 4-2, 3-1, 5-3, and the last one was only 1. It was 2-1. And the Avalanche had a 3-0 lead after the first period in game 3. And then let them score 5 in a row. So, but now it's going to be Golden Knights versus the Hurricanes in the Stanley Cup Final. What are your predictions, Dad?
Canes in 7.
I'm going to say Canes in 6.
I was thinking that, but damn, Vegas, they tend to show up when they have to.
I think this is the year that they do it. You know, I don't know, 49 out of the 50 states, and I think most of Canada all want Carolina over Vegas.
What are you laughing at now?
That, like, because everyone wants to see the Carolina over Vegas. So,
Yeah.
I'm going to say, now, what's your Conn Smythe pick for each team? So, if Vegas won, who would be their Conn Smythe? And if Carolina won, who would be their Conn Smythe?
I know Vegas would probably be Marner.
Okay.
Canes. A little tougher on that one.
I agree with you. I agree with you on the Marner thing.
What I was going to say is I haven't paid attention to all the stats with the Canes series with Montreal and so forth. But ones that would be obvious would be Suzuki.
Suzuki?
I mean, no, not Suzuki. Aho.
He hasn't been playing that well.
Freddie Anderson has played great in goal. So, I mean, he would probably be who I'd say number 1.
This is Adam said it the best. For Vegas, the refs, and for the Hurricanes, Anderson. Oh, Adam, that is 100% perfect.
Yeah. Well,
but for Vegas, I'm gonna say Marner, or Dorofeyev. For Hurricanes, I think it's gonna be Anderson or Taylor Hall.
Nice.
So, I would like. So, someone asked this question, and I'm curious. I think it was on the Jeff Merritt show. I want to say on the sheet, they were saying if say the Hurricanes win the Stanley Cup and Taylor Hall is wins the Conn Smythe, does that make him an automatic Hall of Famer because he would have a Stanley Cup, Conn Smythe, and a Hart Trophy?
That's not it. Just because he has, I'm not sure I'd say that just because he got those 3 things.
Let's see. Let's look up his stats.
I mean, he's had some really great seasons, but then again, he's bounced around a lot just because he wasn't playing up to what they expected of him. And typically Hall of Fame guys, they're pretty consistent or they're just outstanding. I wouldn't say that about Taylor Hall. I do think he's made a couple good comebacks, but then he seems to I don't know.
Taylor Hall. Thought I just saw him.
I mean, he does it quieter than most do, and it's not like a one everybody's going to even think about.
Taylor Hall has 16 points in 13 games
This season or this
postseason. This postseason. Jackson Blake has 15 points in 13 games, and Stankoven has 12 points in 13. Yeah, Adam says, I think Stankoven, or however it's spelled, would be a fun dark horse. That is a great one as well.
Well, you think about it, he was in the trade for Rantanen, and I liked what he was doing in Dallas. To me, I was saying he's an up and comer. I think he still might be.
Did Carolina win the whole Rantanen trade with Dallas and Colorado?
Well, Colorado got Netches, and he had a 100-point season.
Yeah, but okay, what's the goal? Have the guys with the most 100-point seasons, or to win the Stanley Cup?
Well, and if you want to look at it that way, then I would say Carolina won. If they win it.
Yeah.
I mean,
but okay,
right now
they got Taylor Hall, Logan Stankoven, and I want to say that a first round pick in the trade. I gotta look up what they got out of both.
Like I said, I liked Stankoven from when he first stepped on the ice.
Yeah, I agree.
NHL. I mean, I kept seeing, I go, who is this guy? And then all of a sudden I go, why do I keep seeing him? Why are they talking about him? Why he just does what it takes to be a really good NHL player. And maybe he's going to be, an eventual, because he's young still, right? What, like 24, 25?
He is 23.
So he's really young.
Yeah, he's a 2003 baby.
Wow.
He doesn't even know what the 90s look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is only his fourth full season, really.
So he started it.
No, actually, sorry. Third season.
Yeah, I like I said, I really like him. I like him as a player.
No, I agree. And he signed a very nice deal with Carolina to stay there too.
So yeah, like I said, Rantanen's a great player, don't get me wrong. But I think with how Stankoven is meshed with Carolina in comparison, I think they won that trade.
Adam says Hall would be a 6 to 10 year Hall of Famer. But he'll get in, but it won't be a first ballot. No, I wasn't saying first ballot. I know he wasn't going to be. The only way he's a first ballot is if there's nobody else in that year.
Yeah, he would be a guy who could be. He wouldn't be like, oh God, no doubt, that's the guy. He's the guy to pick right away.
Sidney Crosby, first ballot. Malkin, first ballot. Fleury, probably going to be a first ballot.
Kopitar, first ballot.
Easily. I'm surprised Getzlaf hasn't gotten in yet. Perry has the individual hardware, but I don't know if he'll be a first. I don't think he'll be a first ballot, but he'll get in.
He's going to be 74 and still playing for somebody.
Him and Yager will be playing somewhere, and Yager's 92. And
hey, you got to give a guy credit. He's the longevity he's had that's impressive.
Yeah,
and he's such a, he's like that really bad itch you can't get rid of.
Yeah. But all right, well, we have our Stanley Cup picks. Anything else you want to add or talk about?
Well, yeah, this is going to be a very interesting offseason for both of our teams in different ways. One is, can the Kings make some moves to where they don't have to like do a major retool or a eventually total rebuild? Is it possible? Yeah, I'm really not sure. Are the Ducks going to blow up what they have to get some, maybe a little bit more veteran stardom into their lineup? I'm not sure that's the best move. I just see if they keep growing, a lot of those
And
guys are
we still have a lot. We still have a lot of prospects too.
Well, yeah. Well, that would be the thing. Yeah, for them to do is not get rid of guys on the ice. You get rid of the prospects to pick, just to give them a little more. That I could see that if they going after some of these superstars is going to cost them a player on the ice. Somebody's going to have to go, and who is it going to be?
Yeah.
I mean, McTavish is he's a piece they're willing to deal to get someone. I see that, but who else do you want to get rid of?
Yeah.
I mean, would you get? Yeah.
Sorry, Adam says Getzlaf is going to be the standard for Kopitar. West Coast bias. Kopitar will probably get in with 5 years. I think Kopitar. Getzlaf will go in before Kopitar. Oh, I mean, because Getzlaf's already Hall of eligible. But I think Getzlaf will get in before Kopitar at this point. But Kopitar will take less time to get in. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Wow.
Dusk 3587 says, "Can we get your most preposterous trade ideas for each of your respective teams?"
Preposterous. Well, that means it's probably not going to be like fair.
Future considerations for Nylander and Matthews.
Yeah.
Our RIP future considerations.
So preposterous.
I'm just kidding. I don't know if I even do that.
Cody CC, Brian Dumoulin, and Joel Armia to let me think who are okay. We're talking preposterous to Edmonton for McDavid and Bouchard. That's preposterous. Because there is rumors that McDavid would like to come to LA.
I think that's just rumor.
Well, you think about it. There's more money to be made in advertising for him in LA than Edmonton, of course, and it gives him a fresh start. Maybe he comes to Anaheim. I mean, to me, that would be, hey, you want to win a cup? I'd do that over going with the Kings.
Are you tapping something?
Yeah, I was tapping
Stop.
my desk.
Stop. Okay. You are the biggest hypocrite when it comes to stuff like that. And I know Mom would back me up on this. Like I'd be doing something and then Cody, stop. And then literally 5 minutes later, you're doing something far worse. All right, there we go. Now it's nice and quiet here. No more tapping.
Sorry.
All right, hold on. I want to see what ChatGPT would do.
What? For preposterous trade?
Yeah, for the Ducks.
You know, mom.
Adam says trade great Mac T for McJesus. Let's see.
That would be proprietary. It fits.
No. All right, listen. All right, to Anaheim. Connor McDavid, Edmonton's first round pick and future considerations. To Edmonton, Jakob Silverberg's retired contract, a 4th round pick in 2031, a lifetime supply of In-N-Out gift cards. All right. To Anaheim, even though this one makes no sense. To Anaheim, Austin Matthews. Oh, this is going off of last year's team. I'm going to say it anyways because it's kind of funny. Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner. And this is what it says. Leafs retain 50% on both because why not? That's literally what it says. Why not? To Toronto, Brett Leeson, a conditional 7th and a signed Mighty Ducks VHS tape. To Anaheim, Cale Makar. To Colorado, Radko Gudas, because vibes, a 2nd round pick, and a promise to try really hard.
So are we going to start having a Chat GPT
honestly, these are
segment of every episode now? We talked about
these are
remember one last week.
Hilarious. This says I'm taking that In-N-Out deal. Wait, okay, here's another one. Ducks get Igor Shesterkin. The Rangers retain 75% because Verbeek asked nicely. I'm kidding you. This is what it says. To New York, Lukas Dostal, a 6th round pick, a Disneyland fast pass. To Anaheim, Braden Point, Nikita Kucherov, Steven Stamkos. Tampa retains 40% on all 3. To Tampa Bay, Max Jones, a 2029 3rd round pick, and a photo of Teemu Solani.
Well, that's really valuable, though. You think about
that. Okay. To Anaheim, Connor McDavid, Adam Fantilli, Macklin Celebrini. All teams retain salary because Anaheim is building something special. To Chicago, Columbus, and San Jose, a 5th round pick, a bag of pucks, and a Ducks Digest shout out. Oh my God, we gotta do this every time now. Okay, last one. To Anaheim, 1996 Teemu Solani, yes, the 52 goal version. To 1996 Winnipeg Jets, a 2026 iPhone, a Ducks reverse retro jersey, a promise that the franchise will eventually win a cup. Oh my God, that was hilarious. All right, I'm gonna do one for the Kings too for you, because that was funny. Okay, let's see. Adam says 3-way trade. McJesus, Matthews to Anaheim. Both teams get a bottle of Pink Whitney to share. So you know what Pink Whitney is?
No.
Pink Whitney is this pink lemonade alcoholic beverage that Ryan Whitney made.
Oh.
The Pink Whitney. It's actually decent. It's all right for the LA Kings. All right, let's see what this. All right, I'm sorry. That was funny. All right, for the Kings to LA, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl. Edmonton retains 50% on both because LA is a big market. Edmonton gets Carl Grundstrom, a conditional 7th, and a free year of LA traffic school. To LA,
Carl Grundstrom, who's not been with the team for 2 seasons.
It's a pink lemonade vodka. All right. Second one to LA, Cale Makar, Bowen Byram, a signed Joe Sakic jersey. To Colorado, Jordan Spence, a 2030 5th round pick, a lifetime supply of King's Hawaiian rolls. To LA, Igor Shesterkin, and New York retains 75% because LA asked nicely. To New York, Rittich, a Disneyland park hopper, and a Drew Doughty Funko Pop. To LA, Sidney Crosby. Pittsburgh retains 80% because he deserves to live somewhere warm. To Pittsburgh, a 2029 third round pick, a Trevor Moore bobblehead, and a handwritten apology from Kopitar.
Handwritten apology.
To LA, Nikita Kucherov, Brandon Point, Victor Hedman. Tampa Bay retains 40% on all three. To Tampa Bay, a 2027 fourth round pick, a photo of Dustin Brown holding the cup, and a couple of Pink's hot dogs.
Let's make that trade.
Okay. Let's see. All right. All right. To LA, Mason McTavish, Leo Carlson, Pavel Minchikov, Olin Zellweger, Cutter Gauthier. Anaheim retains 50% on all ELCs because it's good for SoCal hockey. To the Ducks, a 2035 seventh, a bag of pucks, and a Royally Quacked shout out. I don't like that one at all.
Let's make that trade.
And then I think this is the last one. Yeah, last one. To LA, 1985 Wayne Gretzky, and the 85 Oilers get a 2026 iPhone, Crypto.com arena seat cushion, and a promise that LA will eventually win 2 cups. Stop tapping.
I'm not tapping.
Something's tapping. Yeah, something's tapping.
I'm not tapping.
I hear something. Something's vibrating. But okay, dude, that was probably a really good rabbit hole to go down.
I'm glad you had fun. It was interesting.
Those were funny. I'm sorry, those were hilarious.
Yeah, I've been having fun. Like I said, I just looking for the opening for the episode, and remember corgis and all that stuff. I mean, that was hilarious. Gave us a whole monologue.
Oh God, that was hilarious. We're gonna have to do like a chat GTP thing. Like we're gonna have to have like someone ask a question and we'll just do the chat GTP thing because that was too funny. All right, let's see. Do we have any questions in on Instagram? I don't see anything. Oh, do we have one? No questions. Bummer. All right. That was funny.
I just realized Adam didn't even offer each of the teams their own bottle. They had to share it of the pink Whitney.
Both teams get it. No, he said both teams get a bottle. Oh, to share.
They get a bottle to share. You didn't see that part, did you?
Or as what they call them, they have like little bottles that are like this big and they're like a shot. They call them nips.
Okay.
Yeah. So each team gets a little nip.
We get a nip. All right.
Oh God, that was funny.
Well, that was a way to end the podcast, huh?
I laughed.
Yeah, I got a giggle out of it. So.
All right. Well, you have anything else to add before we get out of here?
I don't think so.
Oh, so it's part of the outro, but so I don't know if people on Twitter have noticed or not, but the original the original Royally Quacked Twitter account got hacked. Literally like within like 2 minutes, I got an email saying the account got changed, and then I got logged out fast. They changed it to, they called it the Elon Network. The account, I already reported it. The account got suspended for something. I don't know if it was because I reported it. There is a new account. It's Royally_Quacked. Please go give us a follow on there. I swear it's me. You know, I'm not just trying to get multiple followers. So, okay. Adam says that's the funny part of it. The Ducks couldn't even splurge for 2 bottles.
Yeah, I know. I caught that already, Adam. That's what I brought that up.
Yeah. So, just giving everyone a heads up, like, you know, if it's Royally_Quacked, that is us. So it's me. I'm just trying to get our followers back on there. So if you it's not me just trying to get add you guys twice. I swear. If you try to go on the other one, like if you scroll down no, actually you can't because the account got suspended. But yeah, because I reported, I put it on Instagram, I think that night. And I think Chris from Late Arrivals literally messaged me. He's like, yeah, your account definitely got hacked. And then I looked back and it was like all Elon Musk stuff. Like I had to scroll down for a good minute just to find our Royally Quack stuff. So, but yeah, we have a new X Twitter thing called Royally_Quacked. So give us a follow on there. Follow everything else is still the same at Royally Quacked everywhere else. On podcast, please hit the download button. Go check out the Hockey Podcast Network. We do have a new show on there. We have the Hockey Princess podcast. Me and Dad, we've each been on that show.
A couple times.
They joined. It's a Blackhawk show. Angela's great. Her dad, Krusty. Was it Krusty?
Yeah, she calls him the crusty old man.
The crusty old man. So, like I said, they're great podcasts. If you like Blackhawks content, go check them out. They're great. Late Arrivals is part of the network. Who else? The Ducks and Pucks. I met Eddie from the Ducks and Pucks, so he's great. Let's see, hockey. Who are the Kings ones on there?
I don't remember.
I'm looking it up right now. I'll just give everyone a shout out. Let's see. For Kings, Hockey Royalty is on there. The Kings Realm. I think, and us. I think we're the only other Kings team on there.
Perfect.
Yeah. So everyone please go check out those accounts. Like I said, Late Rivals, Ducks and Pucks, Hockey Royalty, Kings Realm, and then the new one, the Hockey Princess. Like I said, great shows. I listen to Late Rivals and Ducks and Pucks. I think I've listened to Hockey Royalty once. I want to say
I've listened to them a few times. They have good stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to bot farm. Yep, because I can only follow 15 people at a time every 15 minutes or so, I think. So, on that, please hit the download button on audio. If you haven't done so yet on YouTube, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's get the subscribers up. I would like for us to, get a lot more before the Stanley Cup Final ends. So hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so yet. Anything else to add before we get out of here?
Gonna try something different. On the outgo, and it's gonna be stay royal and let's defend the crown.
Okay. All right. Stay quacked and defend Catella. or defend the pond. I like that one, and defend the pond.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
nice try.
Let's do it for real this time. So go.
Stay royal and let's defend the crown.
Stay quacked and defend the pond. We'll see you next week.